Hi, I'm Dennis Phillips, and welcome to Everyday Reloading and Shooting. All right, so welcome back to the channel. I recently posted a series called My Powder Shootout, in which I was testing 6 different powders with a Hornady 52 grain boat tail hollow point bullet. I chose that round because I had previously tested the 52 grain boat tail hollow point against the 52 grain ELD-Match. These are pictured here. The ELD-Match has a ballistic tip, which is the primary difference, and it's a longer bullet overall. But I did a test, and there's a link to that video below, where I did 2 20-shot groups and determined that the boat tail hollow point bullet was a better performing bullet than the ELD-Match at 100 yards. I don't recall the velocity, but in any event, during the powder shootout series, there was a comment from someone that the ELD-Match shot better than the boat tail hollow point, and I probably should have used that in my test. And I referenced him back to the previous video that I had done. But I was looking on my loading bench just now and looking at some previous loads. During that test with the powder shootout, I found that 21.3 grains of accurate 2200 gave me the best grouping of that entire powder shootout. And I had 10 shots at under 3/4 of an inch, and I had a 0.29 mean radius, which I refer to as an average group size of 0.58. So anyway, I have gone back and I have now loaded 20 each of the 52 grain hollow point and the 52 grain ELD-Match using 21.3 grains of accurate 2200 powder. And we will shoot those, and we will run that test with the accurate 2200 powder and see if the boat tail hollow point still performs the best, or whether maybe the ELD-Match will outperform the boat tail hollow point. But we'll find out. Stay tuned. All right, as mentioned in the opening, I'm comparing a 52 grain boat tail hollow point bullet and a 52 grain ELD-Match bullet, both Hornady, and I'm shooting these with 21.3 grains of accurate 2200 powder. So I'll be shooting 2 20-shot groups. So I'll first shoot a 5-shot fouling group at the top here, and then the way I'm going to do this is I will shoot 10 shots of the boat tail hollow point, then I'll go shoot 10 shots of the ELD-Match, then go back to 10 shots of the boat tail hollow point, and then back to 10 shots for the ELD-Match. That way I'm not shooting all of just one bullet with a dirty barrel. Anyway, we'll be shooting these at 100 yards. As always, you're welcome to enjoy the music while I fast forward through my shooting, or you can skip forward to the results at the end. All right, let's go. kind of hard to tell which of these was better, but let's bring them in and take a look. All right, so this was my fouling group, and these were my last two shots, so I saw no reason to make any adjustments to the scope. If you're looking at these, this seems to have a tighter cluster, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flyers that are going to go throw that group off. And here it looks like we have a tighter extreme spread, but we're stringing diagonally here. We're going to use the Hornady ballistics app with the group analysis to measure these, but I suspect the ELD-Match is probably going to win out here, although we've got a really tight cluster right here, so it may be a toss-up. But we'll check them out and get back to you with the results. Stay tuned. Okay, so here are my results from the range today. We're shooting 21.3 grains of accurate 2200 powder, a fairly fast burning powder, which has shown to work well with the 52 grain bullets. And we're comparing the Hornady 52 grain boat tail hollow point with the Hornady 52 grain ELD-Match. I'd had a comment from a viewer previously that the ELD-Match was a better performer than the boat tail hollow point. And I had done a comparison previously on that same bullet, and the boat tail hollow point performed better, but this time the ELD-Match seemed to perform a little bit better. So I'm going to show you photographs of my target down here in the lower left corner and photos from the Hornady ballistics app in the upper right hand corner. And these are 20 shot groups here. And so what I did to keep it honest was, instead of shooting 20 shots of the boat tail hollow point and then 20 shots of the ELD-Match, that would have had a dirtier barrel. So what I did was I tried to spread those out. So I did 10 shots of the boat tail hollow point and then 10 shots of the ELD-Match, then went back and did 10 more of the boat tail hollow point, then 10 more of the ELD-Match. But here's the photo of the boat tail hollow point and the picture from the Hornady ballistics app. And as you can see here, this red cross is my average point of impact for the groups, and it matches the white X on the Hornady photo over here. But we were shooting at 5/100ths of an inch to the right, so pretty much on center right there, and 2/3 of an inch high at 0.67. We had an extreme spread. We had a flyer out here, and I knew these flyers were going to throw my group off. So we had a 2.5 inch, 2.58 extreme spread from this shot to this shot. But we had a mean radius of 0.53, which a radius is half of a circle. So you double that, and that gives you a 1.06 group size average. All right, so just so, although we did have a real nice cluster right here in the center, these flyers here on the outside is what threw that group off. All right, so then moving on to the ELD-Match bullet, we had 20 shots. This time I was shooting 5/100ths to the left, so still pretty much on center, and about 0.96 inches high, so just about an inch high. So I'm guessing that ballistic tip, it probably flies a little bit faster as it cuts through the wind, so that's going to maybe give it a little bit of advantage on velocity, so it's shooting a little bit higher. But on this, we had an extreme spread from here to here of 1.39 inches. So the extreme spread was right at 1.2 inches tighter on the ELD-Match than it was on the boat tail hollow point bullet, because we didn't have those flyers. We had a couple here and here, but basically this is pretty much one ragged diagonal hole right here. And so we're at 1.39 on the extreme spread, but our mean radius is 0.48. And if you double that, that gives you a 0.96 average group size. So very similar. The ELD-Match has a little bit of an edge at a 0.48 mean radius compared to 0.53. But on the average group size, you're only talking about 0.96 versus 1.06. So at 0.96 and 1.06, that's basically 1/10 of an inch difference in the group size. So not significant, but we do have to give the ELD-Match a little bit of an edge here because it actually did perform better. But I'll continue to compare these. I had an idea that the boat tail hollow point was going to shoot better because it's performed better in the past, and I thought it would shoot better here as well, but the ELD-Match actually outperformed it just marginally by 1/10 of an inch on the average group size. All right, so those are my results. As always, please leave your comments, thoughts, ideas, suggestions, or questions below. I try to interact with everybody that leaves a comment. I hope you will also like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.